Well, good evening and welcome to the Arbor Hills Nature Preserve on a rainy evening. Tonight's evaluation is a rain test of the 5.11 Skyweight pack. I hope you already saw part one of this review. At the very end, I mentioned about the rain cover that comes with the pack. I thought that was a nice touch. And tonight we're going to see how well it works because it's expected to have a very nice, consistent light rain for pretty much the rest of the late afternoon and evening and then into the night. Well, of course, I carried the pack over here. You can see how the water beads. The material is water resistant but not waterproof. So we're going to see how well this cover fits, how well it stays on, and how well it keeps the pack dry. Well, you know what's coming next. We're going to get out there in the preserve and see how it works. Well, I've never used this before. I may not have it 100% correct, but we're going to go ahead and get started. There is ample slack here in case you have water or other gear in the pockets. I might have preferred a little bit more coverage on the bottom, maybe some means to tie off, but we'll just get out there and see how it works. And there's an update on mission time. So far, so good. I want to get off onto the muddy trail, then onto the grass, kind of slip and slide a bit, and we'll see what happens. Well, it's getting dark, got my headlamp on. Let's walk into the trees here and see what happens. I'm not going to record the entire segment, but yeah, it's already catching on some of the branches. So we'll see if it stays on. Go through here. Oh, this is a nice tight area. Got caught on my helmet for sure. Back around. Well, it's still on. Maybe that was too easy. Mission time update. I've stopped here at the observation tower, took the pack off. As you can see, the cover is still on. I thought it would have slipped off by now. Although if you take it off and on enough, eventually it's going to slip back a little here, but I don't know that it's at risk at completely popping off. As you can see, the straps are very wet, but still functional, still doing quite well. I'm still impressed at how comfortable a pack it is and how little it slips. So I'm going to take a brief hydration break and then get back to the test. Mission time. Just had our first slip. So I'm going to make an adjustment and then get back to action. All right, almost an hour. Just took the pack off, though I have to admit I'm taking it off and putting it back on a little bit more carefully than I might otherwise. No further slippage in. What? What's that? You want more exposure? You want me to go back out there? Seriously? All right, well, your wish is my command. Okay, there's our update, not quite an hour 25. I'm going to get back into the trees again. I've got off trail. I'm trying to stay relatively in character. You notice I've got my flashing red blue beacon. Let's say I was searching for a kid and I thought I heard, a moan over in here. So I immediately got off, made note of my general direction, and I'm just going to work my way. Okay, maybe I heard another one up here. It's a small child, so I got to move fast. I don't care about gear considerations. The gear either works or it doesn't. It's up to the gear to prove itself to me, not for me to try and prove the gear. Okay, that was a false alarm. Let's go through here. Got some serious thorns there, although nothing as bad as the LBJ grasslands. One more time. Let's go under here. And then let me look back and see what the score is. Okay, I'm fairly surprised. Let's go up to the observation tower. I'll take it off and we'll make an assessment. Mission time update, and there we are. Honestly, I did not expect that. I can only speculate, and this is just a personal speculation. It's probably stupid, but somehow it seems that as this cover gets wet, it's actually holding better. Don't know if that's true. I'm going to take a brief hydration break and then get right back to it. All right, 2 hours, 5 minutes, and assorted seconds. There it is, just as I took it off. I'm still a bit surprised. Maybe that theory that I talked about before is correct, but in any event, let's see what the actual damage is. Now, the top part here is definitely wet because there was exposure before I discovered that slippage. This is less wet, but wet still. I don't expect to keep the pack perfectly dry, just less wet than it would have been through direct exposure. Check my gear in here, no issues there. Check my smog. Yeah, perfectly dry. So in terms of what I would hope for from a basic cover, it did everything I expected. This continues to be a very easy pack to take off, put back on. The straps, of course, are soaked, but they're still very solid, excellent support, no issues accessing any of my gear. So that is a light rain exposure test. If there are other tests you'd like to see, let me know. I do hope to film within the next month a long multi-hour expedition using this pack. We'll see how that goes. And as always, until the next review, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for watching the video.